In 10 minutes, I'll teach you the strategies that I actually use for how I stay organized as a project manager. Let's get into it. It's no surprise, project managers are hired to do hard things. A lot of times the work involves a lot of people, a lot of information, and there's a lot of different moving parts that we're required to keep track of. During busy times, I'll get over 100 emails a day and have to switch between 5 different platforms just to keep up communications with my different teams. And while I've certainly had my fair share of both projects and moments where I felt overwhelmed, here are my 4 strategies that I use to stay organized and to make sense of the chaos. To stay organized, the 4 strategies that I use are: keep it simple, put out the fires, think about scale, and then find what works best for you. Strategy number 1, keep it simple. Find the easiest way to track or to do the task. There's a common saying, more is less, and I live by that principle. Some of the smartest people that I know, they're able to take the most complex topics or subjects out there in the world, and they're able to consolidate it and to explain it to an 8-year-old so that an 8-year-old can understand. The ability to really parse through all the noise, to remove all the jargon, and to just explain things as simple and as easy as possible. That's one of the best strategies that I found. If you're asking for help, get straight to the point and be concise. If you need to get a task done, be super clear what the expectation is for that task. Strategy number 2, put out the fires. When you're on fire, the only thing on your mind is not getting burned. Put the fire out. Focus on the immediate needs, the things that need to get done now, and get them done. We live in a world where our senses are constantly being overloaded, from social media to real life. Without prioritization, it's so easy to feel overwhelmed and to just be lost. Good project managers have the ability to zoom in and zoom out. An example of this, a project manager essentially is one who has the entire view of the forest, right? So you see all the trees, you see all the wildlife, you have the vantage point and you can see everything going on. But the project manager also has the ability to zoom in on specific trees, to zoom in on specific flowers, specific things going on in the forest, and being able to identify any issues and resolving those in order to make sure that collectively the forest is doing well. Again, probably a weird example to use here, but these examples, they personally help me with visualizing and understanding. Put out the fires, find the solutions that work now. This segues perfectly into strategy number 3, which is think about scale. Once your immediate fires are out, take a step back, take a breath, and let's think about the big picture. Think about all the systems and processes that you have in place. It's really important to think about, are the solutions today, are they sustainable? Do they solve the need, and are they scalable long term, especially as we build out and grow this team? Let's go back to the forest example. So you're a project manager, and you're overseeing the success of this forest. Let's say one of your team members is a gardener. You only have one gardener on your team. They're the one that's planting all these new beautiful plants, making sure that the soil is lush. And one of the fires that you recently put out, you realized there was a deficiency in the soil and the trees weren't able to grow as well. Well, hiring the gardener, that took care of the problem. But let's say the gardener gets sick. Let's say the gardener goes on vacation. Let's say your gardener decides he or she no longer wants to garden. Is that solution sustainable and is that scalable in the big picture? Well, the answer is probably not, right? The solution, it solved the problem. It took away the fire in the very beginning, but future state, a couple of considerations may be building out documentation so that any other new team members who potentially join, if you build out the gardening division, they'll be able to understand what are the pain points that have previously been there. They'll be able to quickly understand how the forest functions and operates, what it needs. These are small examples of how the solution today may not be the solution as you grow and scale long term. Think about how you automate systems, how you centralize information, and how you empower your teams to self-serve and to operate efficiently. Last but not least, strategy number 4, find what works best for you. Everyone is so different in the way they work. Take the time to do a little bit of self-reflection. Find out what your strengths are. What are things that you feel really confident in doing? What are areas that you feel you could certainly improve in? Find what works best for you. If you're a very visual person, if you have a task list, highlighting might be your way to stay organized. You don't like writing on paper. You write like chicken scratch like myself. Writing digital notes might be the right strategy for you. Ultimately, it doesn't matter how beautiful or just how innovative a solution is or system is, if it truly doesn't fit your need, if no one adopts it, right, then it truly hasn't served its purpose. So whether you're big into checklists or Kanban boards, or you live and die by paper and pen, figure out which tool and which system works best for you, optimize that system, figure out what your weaknesses are, build those into strengths. I wish there was a magic playbook that explained exactly how you should do something, the best way to do it. Maybe I need to write that one day. But for the time being, there's no magic playbook. There is no perfect system. It's constantly just trial and error, figuring things out, and then iterating, putting in the time and the effort to understand what went wrong and making it better from there. You should always be seeking feedback from both your teams, from your clients, whoever you work with. And if you're gonna fail, make sure you fail fast and you find another solution. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Drop a like, comment. We'll catch you all in the next video.